Hello Pythoneer, welcome to your 9th Python tutorial. In the last video, we looked at mapping data types in Python. In this video, we take a look at set types in Python. A set object consists of an unordered collection of distinct objects, meaning that set item arrangements do not follow a pattern like what we have seen with lists and tuples. Set items can take different indexes or different positions anytime you create and then call them, and because of that they are not ideal for slicing, finding positions, and then so on. Common use cases of sets has to do with membership testing, removing duplicates, because sets do not allow duplicate values, unlike lists and then tuples. And they have application also in mathematical operations such as intersection, union, differences, and then symmetric differences. And these are all made possible because of the properties of sets, like not allowing duplicates, having distinct values, and then so on. Just like we look at in mapping and sequential type, sets also have different types, and the two types are the set type and then the frozen type. The set type is mutable, meaning they can be changed or modified using methods like add and then remove. Because of this mutability, it has no hash value and cannot be used as a dictionary or as an element of another set. We would look at hash in another video, but just see it from this view. A hash basically is a method that would apply a formula, or that would apply a process on a number and then convert it to a value and convert it from a different value. And this has applications in masking data in cryptocurrency and then so on, which would convert the number, so let's say a set, into a different characters and then stored. We will look at that in our demonstration. Frozen set is the second type of the set type, and frozen sets are immutable and then hashable. Once they are created, these contents cannot be altered or modified in any way, hence the name frozen. And because of that, it can be used as dictionary key. We talk about the fact that dictionary keys are supposed to be distinct and then unique, or they can also be used as an element of another set. Let's look at set and frozen set in an example. Given a list of prime numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7. To store these numbers as a set, we use the keyword set. So this function would convert the argument that we pass, or the item that we pass, into a set. To create a frozen set, we will use the same numbers. So I'll copy and then paste, and then I'll say prime numbers underscore frozen. And to store a frozen set, we use the keyword frozen. So we have set and then we have frozen set. We can print our numbers. I'll first print prime numbers, and then I'll print prime numbers underscore frozen. I'll run my code, and then I have set 1357, and then we have frozen set 1357. Notice that keyword frozen set has been added to the set to indicate that this is a frozen set. We can also check their types by using the function type. I assume that you are already familiar with this function which we've been using all along. If you are not, you can check out the previous videos. And we have sets, and then we have frozen set, indicating each class that each of them or each of the data belongs to. We mentioned the mutability of sets and the immutability of frozen set. What that means is that I can add to my set using the method add. I can add 11, and then I will also try doing the same with my frozen set. So I am going to print each of the two sets, the prime numbers and then the prime numbers frozen, after I have added 11 to each of them. Let's run our code and see what happens. So I get an error with my frozen set telling me that the object has no attribute add. What it means is that you cannot add to a frozen set because it is immutable. Immutable in the sense that you cannot modify or change the values after they have been created. Let me comment out the function for the frozen set, and let me just print that off my set. So at this point I have added 11 to my set data, and then I want to print it. Notice that it works and I'm able to add 11 to my set. That tells me that my set is mutable, and then I can modify or change it, whereas that of the frozen set is immutable and then you cannot change it. The last thing I will talk about is the hashability. Sets do not contain hash values, but frozen set contains hash values. Now, mutable data cannot be hashed, whereas immutable data can be hashed. And the reason why set, which is mutable, cannot be hashed, and then frozen set, which is immutable, can be hashed. To check whether an item can be hashed, you use the method hash. Let us try that in the example. I'll delete this code, I'll uncomment this, and I am going to say print hash of prime numbers and then also hash prime numbers frozen. So I'll first uncomment that of the hash prime numbers frozen, and let me run hash prime numbers. Notice that I get an error telling me that unhashable type set, and this explains that set items cannot be hashed. Let me comment that out and try the same thing on my frozen set. So I'm going to print hash prime numbers frozen, and let's see what happens. So notice that I get a set of characters, okay, so a mixture of numbers, and this is the hash value of my frozen set. Okay guys, thank you for being part of this video, and I'll see you in the next video.